guys, welcome back to Defeating Hair Loss. My name is Steve and I'm here to help you with your hair loss, preserve your hair, stop your hair from falling out, restore your hair, get you in some hair transplants, anything about hair. That's what it's all about. A couple questions that are sent in to me is the shedding process, the process of post-op hair transplant surgery. So you've gone through all these videos and you've decided to get on a medication. Your hair's looking good, it stopped falling out, it's getting a little thicker, but you still have needs, so we're doing hair restoration, hair transplant. Whether it's FUT, FUE, blah, 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 blah. So now you've had your surgery, you picked an excellent surgeon. My favorites are the boutiques, the mom and pops, the clinics that are owned by doctors, not by businessmen. They did a great surgery on you, everything we talked about is working out, and now it's maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days post-op. Because you went to one of these top clinics, they did a really good job of supplying you with the healing kit and all the instructions on how to use it and how to take care of it and when to put water pressure and whatnot. But now you're starting to see some different kinds of activity going on. So you're getting these little scabs that are falling off. They're on your pillow. They're in your hand. They're in the shower as you're showering. Some of those little scabs have maybe little bits of hairs in them, like tiny little hairs. Some of them don't have any hairs. And it's confusing to you. All right, so let me explain it to you. The grafts are placed, obviously, and immediately the head, because it's so vascular, starts to heal. So that surgery is healing like literally as you're walking out of that clinic. The next day, if you go to one of the clinics that I recommend, they're gonna do a hair wash, a final check, they're gonna inspect everything. That day, you're kind of good. I mean, you can't bang your head on a kitchen cabinet or your car door. But you're definitely now kind of moving around without worrying about dislodging any grafts, although you need to be careful. Unless you're a little bit of an oozer, a bleeder, you got thin blood, that's a whole nother video that we'll talk about. So everything's healing up within 3 or 4 or 5 days, like I said a couple minutes ago, and you're off to the races. So don't expect anything to be perfect. And what I mean by that is the little hairs that were shaved down, whether it's FUT or FUE, and inside the grafts that are placed into the little sites, those are going to shed. They're going to shed anywhere from about 2 to 5 to 30 to 45 days. So as you see these things like kind of feeling like a little bit of a beard hair all through that frontal zone, I'm just talking about if we're doing the hairline, you're going to feel good about it and then they're going to start to shed. But they're going to shed in different ways, and that was my point. So don't get fixated on if a little scab comes off like a little crust and it has hair in it or it doesn't. Don't get fixated if one looks a little larger than the other. Don't get fixated if you can't see them falling out. I mean, they're going to fall out like as you move about the day. So not to make it confusing, but there is no exact science to this and how we heal. It's just like, getting some sort of orthopedic surgery or whatnot, and then that scab has to kind of, fall off after the sutures come out. Same kind of thing. So I get a lot of questions about, oh my God, am I losing grafts? Well, last thing I'll say about this post-op stuff is that if you see blood, and by the way, your head, like I said before, is very vascular. So if you're gonna lose a graft, let's say 5 days post-op, the first question I'm gonna ask you is, do you see blood? And you will see a lot of blood, a lot of blood. Like if a graft actually comes out, you will get a lot of blood. I mean, I've whacked my head on a kitchen cabinet a couple times through my life, and I freak out because I'm afraid that I messed up my hairline or I messed up some grafts. I mean, I'm not talking about post-op. I'm talking about just, in the middle of my life. And my head will bleed. In my case, because I've had a lot of different procedures, I got a little bit of numbness up there, so sometimes I can't even feel it, and I'll feel that the blood actually coming down, and I'm like, oh my God, I must have really whacked myself. And that's all because the scalp, the skin up there, the scalp is thin, and there's a lot of blood and it'll bleed. If you see that, then just apply direct pressure. Do not wipe it until it stops, and it will stop, but you'll see a lot of blood. The reason I put it up, not to scare you, but it's just because you're not losing grafts. So as you see these little scabs fall off, hairs fall off, little crusts fall off, you're not losing grafts. So relax, and I love the questions, keep them coming, but calm down, you're not losing grafts. I hope this helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe.